Okay, welcome to this welcome to this beginning tutorial on survival mode for Green Hell VR. These are the options. You can change these around. Big one here is if you want to walk or teleport. Now, if you tend to get dizzy in VR, teleport's the way to go. If not, you can just use the normal joysticks to walk around. Right-handed, left-handed, that should be self-explanatory. You can stand or sit. I usually do standing. Gives you a little bit more exercise. So you're going to come in here, and first thing you're going to do is hit play. You're going to hit survival, and you're going to hit new game. So what I wanted to tell you about, there's tourist mode, which is basically you're in God mode. If you just want to walk around and you don't care about survival mode, essentially it's not survival mode, it's just you're basically in God mode. That's not what I recommend you start out with. I recommend you start out with this setting. This is a good setting to start out with, a walk in the park. Yes, you can die very easily here. And what happens, let me go back. What happens with this is you can get attacked. You can get attacked by spiders, and your nutrients do deplete. So again, this is probably a good way to start if you're just starting out with this game. If you do Welcome to the Jungle, you're going to have a lot more going on. Basically, you can get attacked from hostile tribes, large alpha-type predators. We're talking pumas and caimans, that type of stuff. I actually recommend you start out with this so you learn the basics of the game. So that's what we're going to start out with. And you can just pick, anything you want, effectively, for a save slot. Just pick the first one. And here we go. Okay, so we're into the airfield, which is actually the place. I recommend you keep starting over and over again until you can get the airfield. That was lucky, actually, because usually I have found that if you start out in the wetlands, which is that way, or is it that way? I think it's that way. You are in a world of hurt. I think it's better to start out here. There's a lot of resources, and there is a lot of places to search effectively. Now, first thing I want to talk about, there's two types of ways basically to get food in this game. That's ultimately what you need. You need food. One is you'll find camps. You'll find camps from civilization. You'll find native camps. In there, you can find supplies. So that's the first thing I recommend you do. We're going to go into this building, and what you want to do is scavenge for as much as you can. And that's what we're doing now. So you kind of look around. Here you go. We've got a protein bar. If you hit on the right joystick, if you hit, I believe it's the top button, the B button, yeah, it will tell you what's in there. Since we haven't eaten a protein bar, if you haven't eaten it, it'll come across as unknown. So we're not going to eat this because it's kind of a waste. Why would you eat this? We have plenty of nutrients right now. Now, a quick way to get this in your backpack is to throw it over your right shoulder, and you'll see the backpack icon come up. You don't have to pull your backpack out, which is kind of a pain. You can just toss it over your right shoulder, and you can see you get the backpack icon. Boom, it's in your backpack. And we're going to talk about the backpack in a minute a little bit more. Beer cans, who cares? Here's some tuna. Again, it's unknown, but I can tell you there's like protein and fat in there. We're going to talk about those nutrients in a bit. Toss it over your right shoulder in your backpack. Boom. Look around these places. When you find these places, you'll find things. Here, look, here's a rusty machete, a great thing to find to start out with. That brings up another point. You can wear these tools on, you have a left holster and a right holster. If you just drop it in there, boom. To pick things up, you use the bottom trigger. So you could drop with the bottom trigger and pick it up with the bottom trigger. And release the trigger, and right over that slot, it goes into the slot. So that's what you do. It's just the bottom trigger. So that's what you need to do, is just learn how to look through some of these, some of these abandoned facilities. And there's really, in the survival mode, it's just you, and you're not playing the campaign, so you're not going to really run into anybody else. out here, except for the natives if you play on a harder mode. But on this mode, we're not going to even run into the natives, which is why I wanted you to start out with this. Now, keep in mind, there's still things that can attack you in this mode. There's, I'll do, like, for a more advanced mode, I'll do another tutorial. But remember, this is a beginning tutorial. So that's that. So you want to look through any structures, search them completely for supplies. Now, the other way to do is just to forage. It's the biggest way to find nutrients. Now, here is, I'm glad this just happened. Here is a coconut. A coconut is probably the most important thing in the game. It provides water, it provides fat, and it even provides carbohydrates. We're going to show that to you in a minute. Now, you can open these up. You just keep doing it like so. And then if you put the coconut to your face, you'll start to consume the water. That's the first thing you get. You can see I just got 10 water. Now, if we hit it again, now we've got coconut meat. You can eat that, and that will give you, I did it too quick. But you can see there it gave us two things. That was actually, that top green one was fats. The one below was carbohydrates. So again, you want to save these bowls, by the way. Very critical. I'll show you why in a little while. Always make sure you save the bowls. And we're going to eat this too. We don't really need these, but okay. Another important point while I'm thinking about it, always check your arms periodically if you get leeches, because you need to pull those off. They will suck your nutrients out. Okay. That being said, good start. Now, we're going to talk about the two other big items in this game. The watch, your wristwatch. It is absolutely fundamentally important to the game. It's on your left side. If you hit it, tap over it, it'll move around and show you very vital stats. This is the sleep. We'll show that later. Here is, though, without a doubt, I always keep this up by default. You want to keep this up because this tells you the 4 critical nutrients that you need to survive. Now, we're going to talk about each one of these. On the top right is carbohydrates. It's in the yellow, color-coded yellow. You must not let that go to 0 or you will die. I promise you, you will die. Same thing with water. That's on the bottom right. If you let that go to 0, you will die. That health thing, gone. You can see it. You always have that up, by the way, the health. And then the bottom one is your energy and stamina. Now, the two on the left are also important, but not as important. They can go to 0 and you'll die, but what'll happen, if they go to 0, you're not going to die, but your energy is going to be really low. The top left is protein, and the bottom left side is fats. So let's talk about some of the categories where you get these from. What are some of the things? Well, first of all, pretty much the top right for carbohydrates, those are fruits. That's going to be your big carbs, and we're going to go find some of those in a minute. The bottom right, obviously water, you need to find a water source. I just showed you one is a coconut. Obviously bodies of water, and you'll find those rivers, lakes. That's another important one. And something's moving, you can hear. We're going to talk about that in a minute. On the left, protein. You get that from meats, usually cooked meat. So if you kill a rattlesnake and you take the meat and you cook it, you're going to get a lot of protein. From meats, also that protein bar I just got, you'll get that. There's various things you can get protein. There's nuts, some nuts that give protein. I'm sorry, they give fats, and that was the final one I wanted to get. That's actually one of the hardest ones is fats. Now, again, the two on the left, you're not going to die from. Just remember that. It's the two on the right, the carbohydrates and the water. But the fats, the green, you get those from nuts. You will usually find those nuts very close to these trees. If you walk up and you look at the bottom of those trees, you'll see them. So you keep an eye on those trees. They're important. It's like if you kind of walk around, you'll see it's a nut. You pick it up, and it provides as a very good source. Definitely, though, never pass on a coconut. You can see there at the bottom of the tree. I'm trying to toss it over my... Now, sometimes this gets a little glitchy. It didn't go in for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, anyways... There's a nut, though. Did you just see that? What did I just tell you? If you look near some of these trees, you'll see the nut. Okay, good. And I think my backpack's full, but that's a good time to talk about the backpack. Now, the backpack is on your right shoulder. I showed you how if you toss things over the right, they automatically go in. And if you pull it, from the right. Over your top of your right shoulder, you will get your backpack. Now, on the side, you can store tools, but inside there's 4 categories. The first is tools. If you hit that, those are those bowls we just threw in there, right? There's also a category for materials. This might be stones, wood, whatever. Biggest one is food. You can see, look at that. We've got and there's the stuff we were putting in, the cans and the protein bars. Let's go back. I don't know why those, sometimes it's a little glitchy. Let's see if we can stick it in. If you highlight, there you can see we just dropped in the nut. Now, I want to show you something also important. Let's go get that coconut. You should never pass on, let's try to throw it in now. I don't know why it did automatically go in. So let's pull the backpack back. Now, within each one of these categories, you have 3 slots to hold things. So if I click on the right here, I've got another area to put things and another area. Once this is all full, I can't put any more food in. So just keep that in mind. Once if it's not going in, it's probably because all 3 of these dots are full. Now, another thing I want to show you, and you should keep this in mind, when you pick up a plant or you take it doesn't, how do I put this? It will start to deteriorate, spoil. So you can see I've got a little red there. That means that nut is starting to spoil. If that starts to get all the way around, it's like a clock, you better consume that because you're going to lose it. So just keep in mind when you start taking stuff off the ground, and coconuts actually don't deteriorate, but in that you'll find that some plants and fruits don't, others do. The nuts do. Now, what I wanted to show you, there's a banana tree. Take a look at that. We're going to let's actually check our nutrients. You can see they're starting to fall a little bit, right? Our protein's actually down a little bit. But you can also take the banana, and let's go ahead and put that in the backpack. It didn't go in. Sometimes it's a little goofy. There, it went in. So there you go, and you can see it's already starting to deteriorate a little bit. Important to keep an eye. All right, so that's the first thing. I think you understand how to use a backpack. I think you understand how to use the nutrients. Okay, another thing I want to show you, important. So those are the very important early survival tips. Always keep an eye on these nutrients, definitely the 2 on the right. If you've got those low, you need to deal with that. But you can see in our backpack now, we've got carbohydrates. We got some bananas. We got some fruits to deal with that if they get low. This is another important part of the watch. This will give you, these are the maladies. And if you get sick, you want to come here and look at this. I would say the 3 big ones actually are on the bottom. Stomach, that's if you get, and if you get a spider bite, it'll be that skull and crossbones, you can get a fever. If you get one of these, it's not the end of the world. If you start landing multiple of these and at higher numbers, so let's say you have 4 on the stomach, you've got a problem. You're probably going to die. So you need to get remedies for that. They are out in the forest. A lot of them are just natural plants. I'm not going to do that in this video, but you need to learn and look them up, what those plants do. The big one I will tell you is tobacco. We're going to try and find that. A tobacco plant actually solves several of these. But if you only get 1 or 2, don't panic. They will wear off. You might have to go take sleep will help wear them off. So just don't panic if you get 1 or 2 of them. But if you get 4 of them or 3 of them, you've got a problem. All right. So next thing I want to talk about is how important it is to listen. And earlier I heard that sound, and this is why I'm using this great time to listen. Now, you just heard that clicking. I don't hear it now, but watch what happens when I go closer to this tree. You hear that clicking? That is a spider. Sounds in this game are extremely important. You need to listen. You can hear you'll learn what animals give off particular sounds, and a spider sound. That's a definitive spider sound. The spiders can cause maladies. Very important to listen. You can hear rattlers too. So if you run and start running around all over the place, you're going to run into these guys. I think it's better just to kind of move at a normal pace. Now, thing with a spider is, and they're actually one of the biggest problems in these forests. You hear it, but you can't see it. I will tell you though, with the spider, he's going to come to you, and you just have to look down on the ground and keep looking. Usually it's better to back away, like I'm doing. Oh, I just saw him. See? That's what you want to do. That was the exact thing. You back away a little bit because you know he's coming at you. You just keep backing away, and he will come to you. And once you get him in the light, look, we can see him. And You just, like so, gone. Don't have to worry about it. You do have to worry about, though, and I don't know, I don't think you can eat these. I'm not sure what to do with these yet. It's probably poison. You could eat it. I wouldn't recommend it yet. I don't even know, actually, myself. So, okay, so we've covered the watch. We've covered how to deal with some animals. Final thing is the sleep. We will do that a little bit later. Now, what I wanted to talk about, there's some basic things that you need to build in order to survive. Obviously, a tent is one of them. Now, we're going to go down. Actually, I know where we're already going. So we're going to go. There's a rattler, by the way. Hear how we can hear it? The best way to kill a rattler, and actually we're going to do that. I'm going to show you how to do that because that's another thing, is how to make a spear. But what we need is a tree to cut down. So let's go find a tree. These are not the trees. You're looking for this type of tree right here. Boom. Just hit it a couple times with a machete. And we've got a long stick now. Now, we're not done yet, though. We can turn this into a spear, but we've got to find some stone. So we can just drop this. By the way, that won't go anywhere. You can drop things all day you want. Everything's persistent. So that'll be there until the end of time. But we need to find now. See, right there's a rattler right there. What we need to find now is a stone. You can kind of. We just need a stone somewhere. But I can't find one. Sometimes it helps to look on these cliffs. There, is that one? Yes. Sometimes you'll see them lying around. I mean, they're all over the place. But if you can't, it's good to get into like a rocky area kind of thing. I need another one, actually. So let's just dump this here. And now this is a good time to show you a couple other things while I see this. You'll start to recognize, I know I'm kind of jumping around, but all these tips are useful. You will start to recognize plants. Like the pink, that's a tobacco plant. Tobacco is huge. It's one of the big things to cure if you get attacked by a snake. I think this helps out with the stomach and the skull and crossbones that were on that maladies thing. So that's an important one. You want to collect some of these things that you know, if you see them, have them ready to go in case you get attacked or you get poisoned. Now, that was, this is a good time to sleep. Sleep, very important. It's getting later, as you can tell. The sun, I mean, this is a true survival game. Sun goes up, comes down. It's probably time to go to bed. And you notice over the course of the day, your stamina is going to start to drop more and more because you're tired. So it's good to come in here and start to go to sleep. All you do is hit the bed thing, you tap it, and then you're going to sleep. And you're going to see the time. You will keep an eye on your nutrients on that left. Keep an eye on that. They start to drop. It's very important. Usually I don't like to go out at night. So if I wake up and it's still in the AM, I usually wake up about 5. That's a good time, right about now. So you're right at sunrise, and you've got a full, long, nice day ahead of you. You can see it. Look at our stamina on the bottom. It's pretty much recovered. And we even got a new thing, a new coconut. Now, very important, when you wake up, check your nutrients. You can see we're starting to lose some nutrients here. So, okay, let's deal with, now I normally wouldn't do this. I probably would try to, one thing, it's a good point. You want to consume, I'm going to do it here because it's just a tutorial, but normally you want to try to hold on to your stuff that doesn't deteriorate as long as possible. You don't want to consume your canes. You want to kind of consume the stuff that you're foraging for, because there's a more abundant supply. And second, these don't deteriorate, so they're emergency. But we're going to go ahead and consume the protein bar and watch what happens. Look, that went up. It just went up. That solved my protein problem. The nuts, remember I told you that was the green for the fats? We're going to go ahead, eat that. Look, fats just went up. Now we've still got a problem with some carbs. Well, we know what helps with carbs. Bananas. Let's eat that. Let's watch it. Just went up. We've got a little problem with, let's get these leeches. Now, this is important. Remember I told you check your arm for leeches? You just chuck them. I wish you could do something with these guys, like make a statue out of them or something. But always keep an eye because they suck your nutrients. All right, so we did need a little water, and like I said, a great supply of that is, yes, coconuts. Okay, so, oh, my backpack's still open. By the way, if you, I don't know why it's not going in there. Did it go in? I think it did. By the way, if you leave your backpack there, no big deal. It is going to, it'll be back on you automatically. Now, we heard a spider. Did you hear that? A lot of times I just back away because I'm not even really interested in, unless they're in your path and they're blocking your path. There's not a really good reason to, oh, see, we found a nut. See, you will find things. Always look on the floor. Keep an eye what's going on. And you will find things as you look around. And we're looking for like a stone or something. And I think I know there's a tobacco plant. Now, normally we already collected one, but that you would want to take that for sure. Look on the side of these trees, especially the big trees. Sometimes you'll see vines and you'll see a blue plant that helps with stomach. If you get, it's like a really bright blue. Totally recommend you get that if you see it. I hear another spider, so I just kept running as fast as possible. They're slow, so generally, unless they're not on top of you, generally they're not going to get you. I'm looking for a stone, and I still can't find. I mean, this is the thing. You need a stone, and I can't find one. Let's go down here. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. I just died. Okay. Let's reload that. Okay. Okay, you know what? I died there, but that was a good thing. I was trying to go too fast. I should have grabbed that rope. That's a good thing, though. If you die, make sure you have a save point. This is an older save point I had, so it actually works out because I really wanted to just show you what to do with how to make a spear. All right, so let's open this up. And you can see how easy it is to die. Okay, so let's see how we're doing. This is actually an older save point I had. Okay, so we're doing okay. All right, so what I wanted to show you now is how to make a spear. And that's what we're going to do. And I'm trying to, what have I got? Oh, in this save I had a rusty axe. Okay, good. So let's go get back to a tree, and hopefully I can find a stone. I think, oh, you know what? In this save, I should have just done this. I should have just used the save. So I have more here. Of course, there's got to be leeches on me. Get rid of those. Okay, let's see if we can find a stone. Yes, we have a stone. All right. So what I'm going to show you is you can make a lot of things with a stone and just a normal stick. You can make an axe. And if you get the green by holding both right triggers, if you want to make something, hold down right triggers. So for instance, I know these two items will make an axe. If I release the triggers, there's nothing. But if I press them down, it's going to give me that ability. Stick it in there, and now I've got an axe. This is good in case I break that rusty axe. Now I've got an axe. Very, very, very important. Okay, so let's go to this tree, and let's chop down this tree. This actually was work. I'm kind of glad I died because I didn't want to have to look for stones all day. It's weird. You want to find a stone or you want to find something, it's never there. But it's always there when you're not looking for it. That's what, very critical, that if you see stones, I would get them and put them in your backpack. Because there's a chance, you may not. We're having a real problem right now with energy. I think we need to sleep. But okay, so we got that. So I showed you how to make an axe. That's fundamental. Now I want to show you how to make a spear. So the way you make a spear is you get two small stones, and you start hitting them together. Got to do a little bit more. And you will get a sharpened stone. With that sharpened stone, you can now make a spear, and it's going to give me that opportunity. And you just start to hack away at it a little bit. Because we got the green, boom, now I've got a spear. And this is very useful against pretty much every animal or dangerous animal in the game. You can use it to stab. Also, if you go to more advanced settings where you got the bigger animals, you'll want a bow too, but this is just a beginning tutorial. In this type of setting, as a beginner, this is a great, you know what, we're going to sleep for a little bit. And I'm breaking my rule, which I told you to do. We're just going to sleep out here. But normally, like I said, you always want to sleep. Well, now we've got a problem with, let's go do, and maybe I didn't say that earlier, but I do want to make that point. You never want to sleep out in the open. It gets you dirty. Look at my hands. They're dirty now. If you sleep, and I'll show you how to clean the hands. It's a huge thing, by the way. Let's leave the spear there. Let's go ahead and sleep again. You always want to try to sleep under cover if you can. It's a big thing because if you don't, you just see how how dirty my hands are. If you let your hands get dirty, you run the risk of getting parasites when you eat food. Just keep that in mind. So you want to try to always kind of keep an eye. You can see here we're getting a little bit low on the food, or on the. See here we're getting a little bit low on water, so we're going to go drink some of that. You see all these bowls I had. So I taught you how to make a spear. I taught you how to make an axe, which we can use. We've got a rusty axe. Let's just take some water here. And that helped us out a little bit. Okay, let's actually take some of the sticks, because I'm going to show you how to make the next most important thing. I don't know if I have. I'm just going to eat the food because I'm really, this is just a tutorial. Just want to get everything up. Do I have anything else? Apparently not, but okay. Just don't want to die while we're playing this game. And I already dropped. And you can see how, like, you know, when I died there earlier with that rope, you got to kind of watch that. Do we have bananas here? Yes, we do. I hear. Where is it? See, this is important. Those sounds. Where is it? There it is. Yep. And that's the strategy you use. Identify the sound, move away from the sound, and then let it come to you. Boom. You're going to probably do that 100 times when you play this game. But we just cleared them, and now we can go eat some of these bananas and get caught up on one of the most important nutrients, if not the most important nutrient other than water in the game. Okay, so let's store that banana, and now we're going to go. I know where there's a water source, and I'm going to show you how to create a campfire and create a, I'm not going to show you how to create the tent, but once you know how to create the campfire, the tent's not that hard. How do you create things? Well, you open up your book. Okay, so if I'm close to this, by the way, it'll ask for a save. It's on your right chest. This is your journal, and I'm glad I got to this. I was going to show you later, but it's important. You have several categories. As you learn things, recipes, they'll be stored in here. What these various things do. First aid, as well as a map. Very important, the map. If you don't know where you're at, a lot of times I just keep the map open to see where I'm at. You can see where you're pointed. It has like a little dot above the white. You can see it right there. As I move, you can see that points where I'm going. And you can see how that works. Very simple. You will discover maps in new regions that you go to. Pick up those maps. Because there are times you will go off this map, and if you haven't discovered the map for that territory, you're going to be walking around blind. Not a terrible thing, but it's kind of nice to know where you're going at, isn't it? So, yeah, you can see this. This is very helpful. Now, in order to build the essentials, you have to hit the home button, which is right there. You can see we've got a bonfire, a hut shelter. They tell you what you need. Actually, I'm not even sure I need to show you this, but I'm going to, because I want to show you how to boil water. But you see you need 3 small sticks, a stick. Here we need long stick, rope, leaf. It will basically be blank, and then as you add things in, they get added. It's very simple. But I will tell you, if you do not build a hut shelter, which I built right here, you cannot do a save. Or you have to find one. And there's a good chance, and so you can see it's doing it again, by the way, because I'm close to it. But there is a good chance you will find one. But I wouldn't risk it. The first 2 things you should try to get built are a campfire and a shelter, so that you don't have to go. And let's take this axe with us. Okay, so we're going to go do a bonfire and show you how to boil some water, the basic things, and I think then we can wrap up this tutorial. Oh, I just heard. Okay, so listening for sounds. There it is. And I'm actually going to show you how to kill. We killed a spider. These guys, once you have a spear, you have the range. They can't get within range to attack you. So you can kind of swipe at it, and boom, we're going to get him. There. Pretty easy with the spear. If you tried that with a machete, he would definitely bite you. Look, we just got some meat, which will provide protein. Good to take the rattler meat, by the way. It's actually a huge source of protein, and I actually use them to keep my protein levels up. Remember, protein is on the left. It is the red. It is not a required essential, but it is nice to have if you don't want to run out of energy every 3 seconds. Okay, so we're going down the path here, and I just got bit. Actually, I'm kind of glad that happened because normally I would have backed up, but I'm kind of glad that happened. The most important thing to do is not to panic. You can see we got a skull and crossbones. Well, what did I say helps cure that? It's tobacco. I think it gets rid of the skull and crossbones. So let's go ahead and consume that, and let's watch this. Boom, gone. I still have a fever, but that's much better than having both of those maladies. That was a huge thing we just did. So learn what the plants do. I already taught you one of them. The tobacco helps with the skull and crossbones. I believe the blue plant that you see on the larger trees, you'll see it. It's a really, like a light blue. That helps with the stomach, which you will get. I think that parasites give you that. So just keep that in mind. And you can check out some of these big trees. You know, you can come down here and look. Is there anything on here? No, I mean, you'll find things. There's another coconut. Oh, you hear it? Where is it? It's right there. Let's go ahead and kill him. We got the range. He's close. Sometimes it's a little weird. Let's increase the range. A lot of times you can increase the range too by grabbing the very end of the, and there, we got him. It's just that simple. We got some meat too. Rattlers are actually our best friend. We like them. Okay, so I'm going to take the, oh my gosh. You can see the physics in this game are incredible. Like I just rolled right down the hill. Things roll like really incredible physics. Now, one thing you're going to find, this is where I died earlier. If you obviously can't go down one-handed. It's dangerous. I do it. But drop the spear, and there you can take it. So 2 hands on the rope. You can do one-handed drops like this. That's dangerous it's dangerous. You can do one-handed drops, but I don't recommend it. I recommend you go down 2. Okay, so you can see we got down here. Immediately pick up the spear. Oh, there's a stone. Like I said, you ever see a stone, you take those stones. There's another one. Now, if you see a big stone, just bang it for a few seconds. And it will eventually split into 2. Eventually. Sometimes. There, we got 2. You'll get a flint. Oh, I'm glad we did that. Flint helps start fires, so we need that. Also take the stones. We're not going to take all of them because this is just a tutorial, but you get the general picture here. Supplies, supplies, supplies. Never want to be without supplies. You may need that stone. You may need that stick, especially if you run out of a hatchet and you don't have it. You're going to have to go find it. That consumes calories. Think about that for a minute. To swim, it's very simple. Just kind of move hands like so. You don't need... I just dropped the spear. You know, I don't care about the spear right now. But that's it. When you're in this mode, nothing's going to attack you in the water. As you move up to the hardest modes, you'll have piranha and things. But in this mode, you don't have to worry about that. So you can see here, we're just going along. Notice the hands are clean. Yes. Take a look. So one of the big ways to clean hands, just take a swim. And you've got clean hands. Always check the hands. It's huge. You will get parasites. You will get them if you eat food. The parasite will get on the food. So that's the only way. But I recommend you try to just keep them clean if you can. If it rains, you'll also clean it too. But the best, easiest way is just simply swim, which is what we're doing right now. Okay, so we're going to come here, and I'm going to show you how to make a fire and boil some water. Okay, I think. It still wants me to swim. Okay. You can see here, I still had a fire. Perfect. Because I wanted to show you that you can still feed that. So this is actually perfect. So if I was going to build a new fire, I showed you how to do that. You just open the book, you place it down. But And we're actually going to do that. But I wanted to show you that little meter there shows you that that fire is about to run down. But we can also feed it. If you find new sticks, we had some in our backpack. Let's do this. You open up your thing, if I can get it. In our this area, we've got a stick. All you do, I got some leeches, I know. You put this over there like so, and look, I just created the fire will get a little bit bigger, and look, it's going to last longer. So you can feed fires too. It's actually hugely important. You can just keep these things going for as long as you want. Just put a little, and look at that. Okay, so now we're hungry. He will tell you I'm hungry. What are we hungry? Well, let's go check the watch. Well, we need some water. And one thing I do, I left some bowls here, and I leave a lot of emergency bowls, and I didn't drink that. It's good to, they don't actually disintegrate. So you leave bowls with water, and look at this. This is clean water. Boom. I just got water, and I think we need some, we definitely need some protein. And what did I say had protein? Here's the other thing, cooking, basic cooking. All right, throw down the meat near the fire. You're going to get a timer. Look at that. Okay, we know when that's going to be done. You never want to eat meat raw. You probably understand why. But look, we're going to throw down this meat, and we got two things cooking up here. And that's going to give us some red. Perfect. And this is what you're going to do a lot of. You're just going to be kind of managing these things. We know nuts. Remember nuts? They give us green. So we eat some of that. Eat some of that. We're now full up on the green fat, and we know that bananas are going to give us the carbs that we need. We know that, hey, we can also get some carbs from here. So let's take the water. Coconuts are our best friend because they give us lots of goodies. 3 of those nutrients, actually. Look. We just got some carbs and some protein. Boom. And look at this. Everything's back up except for the protein, but we know meats. Remember, meats give us protein, so those are going to finish. And very useful, by the way, to feed fires. I'm glad that actually was there because you can just keep those going and cook as much as you want. All right, we're going to let this one complete first before we pick up the other one. Should be done in a second. And you can see why it's good to kill rattlesnakes, because they are a real easy source of protein. Look at that. And we're going to give us 12 more protein. Boom. Look at that. Okay. That's really good. You can see here, there's a shelter. We could sleep there and not have to worry about getting dirty. And that's the basic gist of it. That's the basic game. I think you understand this now. You want to, boiling water, really simple. Glad I just thought of that. So, sometimes there's clean water in streams. Most water, though, is not. So you want to come down here, just dip it in, and we've got some water. You bring it up here, and you can see we've got a timer. Once that's done, we can drink that water. But if you drink dirty water, you're going to get some parasites. Big time. So I recommend you boil. If in doubt, boil it. If you are in doubt, boil it. And I don't think it will let you boil clean water. So if it doesn't boil, that means the water that you got to stream is clean. This one was not, though, because it let us boil it. And boom, look. Now, what I recommend you do is you boil. I just put out our fire, by the way. What I recommend you do is you go around and fill. You can have an endless amount of these. You saw how many I had up there. 15 of these. Boil them up and leave them around in case you need emergency water. You can't really store them, but you can. They won't deteriorate. You can just leave them around. So that's it. Other thing. Oh, let's open up the. If you want, like I said, we could make another fire. Doesn't matter. You can make as many fire. We could put one up in the fire pit, up here. You lay it down, boom, and then you just have to start adding what it wants. Sticks. You know how to collect sticks. You go cut them down, put them in here. Dry leaf, or usually you'll see them. It does want dry leaf. That would be a dry leaf right there. If you cut this down, let's do that. Let's cut it down. And there should be a dry leaf somewhere. I don't see it. You'll see them. I mean, you'll see them. Let's go cut this. Maybe this one will give us a dry leaf. Some of these come down as dry leaves. Let's see. So we just got palm. But if you cut enough of these down, some dead leaves will come down, and you will definitely have dry leaves. I don't see any right now, but that's how you get dry leaf. It's one of the components. So once you add all of these sticks here, you're going to need a dry leaf, and then you're going to need... oh, I better show you that. You would use, to get that going, usually what I use is flint, and you can use like this, spark it. We don't have I don't know if we can get this one going with the rain. We can try. Oh, you know what? See, it's missing dry leaf. So let's... I don't know if you can... I've never actually tried to do this in the rain. You might be able to get it going again, but we're not going to. But that's the basic thing, how you spark. If there was a dry leaf on there and we were hitting this, it produces the sparks, it will start a fire. That's how you start a fire. And that is the core basics. That is all you need to know. At a basic level, what I just told you, you could pretty much survive. I hear a rattler, we're probably going to get hit. At a basic level, that is all you need. Bamboo is really good, by the way. If you find a bamboo, really good to make spears out. These are even better than just the regular stick spears. So if you find bamboo, it's the same process, right? You get a sharpened stone. Is that a sharpened stone? No, that's the flint. But if you get a sharpened stone, you can do what I did. Same thing. I've got some leeches. Let's get rid of these. And there it is. At a basic level, that's how you survive in green hell. What I just told you, you can survive a long time. You can go for a long time. You know what I might show you is there is a way to kill these animals. These are peckarks or peccary. You'll find that they spawn. I just saw them. Oh, it's doing that. I can't hit the... These are actually the easiest guys to chase around. But you just kind of have to swipe them. You'll see them get hit. He's running fast. They do run. You have to, like, sort of think about... There, we're getting him. I just got him. And he gets injured, and he's going to die now. There. So some animals are faster. These peckarks are really slow. I recommend you, if you want to not use a bow and you just want to chase them down, they're pretty easy. He will always spawn here, by the way. I recognize this part of the map. You'll also recognize that. Some animals will spawn here. This is a really good source, by the way, for... It's one of the few meats that has a lot of fats. Most of the... I told you most meats have proteins. This one has fats, which is good. It also has bones. If you put a bone in a bowl, it'll make some soup. So these are really good animals to kill. You saw... But you also have to weigh how much do I want to chase him down all day, but... If you corner them like I just did, hit them with the axe a few times, you can collect all these good meats. And the drop, random. Sometimes you get... This is actually the largest drop I've ever had. This is the I've never had more... Wow, this is a big haul. Okay. That's a huge haul. You can see here I built a... this is another good point. Build as many of these save points as you can. You don't want a save point halfway across, all the way across the map. What I want to say is if you're all the way across the map and you don't have a save point and die, it's over. So I would recommend for what I try to do is build a save point at a place like this. This is a good place to have a save point. Now I can come here, hit this, do a save, and now everything's saved up in case you die. So I recommend you build as many of these around the map as you can. They'll be there if you need them. Let's see if we can restart this fire. Now I need a dry leaf. I didn't get... I might have one in my backpack. Ugh. Let's just drop that. Might have one in my backpack. But like I said, you get them down by just cutting down those palm tree plants. You'll see them. I don't know if I have any. Let's see. I thought I did. There. Is that it? That's rope. Oh, gosh. Come on. We always have leeches. There it is. There's a dry leaf. So what you do is you come back. See, it's asking for... You'll recognize these. It needs now the dry leaf because that was extinguished. There it is. So I get the flint. Actually, the easiest way... Where's my backpack? Easiest way to do this is simply to get 2 flints. And they really will watch this. And boom. Fire's restarted. Just like that. Ouch. Fire is restarted. And cook the meats as fast as possible. Boom. We're going to cook those peccary meats. Throw them down. They're going to go. I'm glad I got some if you see burns or if you fall. So if you burn yourself or fall, you need to take care of that or your life will start to go down a little bit. So, bandages. Get a bandage. I'm thinking of things. Just wrap it around. And boom, that is now dealt with. That will heal fast. Worry about your health dropping now. You've got that on. Where do you get bandages? I think this is becoming a more comprehensive tutorial as I'm thinking of things. You got to look around for them. They're like a yellow plant. I don't see any, but you will see them. They have a very distinctive yellow flower. You'll see it for sure. You'll be walking around. It'll be there. There's one right there. Perfect. So I'm going to hit this and pick it up. And look, I've got a bandage. Always keep, I would recommend 2 to 3 bandages, maybe more. Because you will have time, you need those. They are a lifesaver. So if you see that yellow plant, if you have 3 bandages, you don't need them. But always keep them in your backpack. I'm glad I thought of that. That's a huge thing. I believe this is one of the more comprehensive tutorials now. I will eventually do a more advanced tutorial, but I believe you can survive now just based off the knowledge I gave you for a long time. Okay, thank you for watching.